You're going to witness one of the craziest classical games I ever played. First of all, I'm playing with black. My opponent is rated a bit more than 1500 and he decided to play e4. I decided to play my best defense I can play, which is the French defense. Obviously, e4, e6, and now we play d4. After d4 is the French. I mean, you usually want to play d5. That's kind of the point of it. And he decided to play it. And you might think, well, you are going to the East change variation. How can this game be crazy? Well, first of all, I thought the same thing. I literally thought the same thing. He decided to play this move. I shook my head because I was like, come on, you don't want to play this boring stuff. He played bishop on d3, which is playable. You could play knight on f3 too. But even bishop on d3 can be played. If you play bishop on d3, you allow c5. If you play knight on f3, c5, well, it can still be played, but I have a worse position. But instead of playing c5, I just decided to play classical stuff and he played h3. Now, h3 is a really wide move. You can play it. It's not that you lose or something like that, but you usually want to develop pieces. If you play h3, I guess it's because you don't want to allow this. So after he played this move, I thought he didn't really know what to do against the French. They play bishop on d6, which means looks like a normal move. Now he shook me. This is not a boring game. Queen f3. Oh god. Queen f3 means something. Means that he wants to destroy me. Like, he really wants to destroy me. I never seen this opening. This is actually prep. He's playing prep against me. This guy. And I tell you what. It's not going to be an easy game. After queen on f3, the point is that you want to castle long. Launch everything you have against me. Also, h3 has another purpose. It's not really preventing the bishop to go on g4, and you're going to see this pretty soon. First of all, after he played these, I was kinda shocked. I never seen this opening, despite the fact that I play the French every time. I play the French thousands of times, and somehow I never seen this opening, which is crazy. Knight on e2, which is still theory. Apparently, I didn't know that. Bishop on e6. Looks logical, I intend to be solid, and I thought it was going to castle short. It's not. It's definitely not. Bishop on g5. Knight on d7, just making the spin a bit weaker. Knight on c3. c6, which is really logical, still defending this pawn, because after you play this, you know, you might have some threat in the future, which also allow me to play queen on b6 or queen on a5 in case it wants to castle long, and I also have b5 ideas, which are always useful. Yep, that's the point of h3, it's just to support g4. This guy is crazy, like, he doesn't really care, he's launching everything against me, and I tell you what, I tend to play risky position, but where I am up material, and I am okay playing that stuff. But if I'm getting attacked to that, because that's I mean, it's equal if you're stockfish. That's really scary. That's really scary. I'm really close to get destroyed. And if I'm not even up material, I really hate playing something like this. So, can you avoid all of this madness? Well, apparently you can. If we go back, I played a sort of a wrong move. I should have played c5. After h3, the by far most played move is c5, and by the way, h3 is almost never been played. But they play c5, and the point of c5 is that if you play something like queen on f3 and not in trouble anymore, I have c4. The bishop has to go back. Your attack is not so strong, okay? After I remove this bishop, you don't have a really strong attack. So the move that they usually play is just taking, and after bishop take, knight on f3, I can castle, and as you can see, it's not the same, not getting destroyed. But yeah, this didn't really happen, and that's the position. So, I really didn't want to get destroyed. So I'm trying to think about something that could be decent in a position like this. First of all, you might think, what about playing h6? That you what, in a position like this, you don't want to give a nook to your opponent. You don't want to play h6. You're just giving a nook, like it just goes back. And now the pawn on h6 is just a target, so you absolutely don't want to push anything on the king side. The best way to defend a position like this is just do nothing on the king side and trying to play for counterplay on the queen side probably, but he still has the king in the middle. I could have played h5 or b5. Yeah, b5 was actually a perfect move. Like, why wouldn't you play b5? b5, b4 is good even if it's not going to castle. But yeah, instead of doing that, I played queen on b6, and I thought queen on b6 wasn't the best move. But I also thought that if I played queen on b6, it was going to castle long, and if he castle, I have a target. That's what I thought. Kinda have a target, let's say he castle, which he played. I might have some ideas of playing h5. But instead of playing h5, I don't know why. Sometimes when I'm in danger, I play really stupid stuff, to be fair, and I decided to play c5. Now, c5 is not a mistake, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's imprecise. It's definitely imprecise. And my point is that I'm trying to open the position and to complicate things. But, yeah, and now you should take the queen. The way I played it was wrong, definitely. But yeah, doesn't make any sense. You want to prepare it. Like, you don't want to make your pieces a target right now. It's just a bad move, to be fair. And after this, he decided to take, and I decided to take with the bishop. Obviously, there is knight on a4. It's not that I missed it. I saw knight on a4. The point was, I'm trying to put pressure on you, so we can trade some pieces. I'm going to be worst. I know this for the fact that I'm going to be worst. But at least I might try to survive. Because I feel like this is a really dangerous position. You might take and push. You might just start to push right now. The knight is coming. If I can create some piece and maybe create some counterplay after, let's say, this happens. Maybe I can create some counterplay. I might hold. This was my plan. I wasn't playing for the win. I was playing for surviving, because obviously the opening went completely wrong. And that's bad. He decided to take, which is imprecise. I saw this move and actually I thought this wasn't the best. The fact is that your bishop was pretty good. This knight was kinda terrible, and after this trade... First of all, we trade, which is something that I want. Kinda benefit me, just me. And I still have a knight there, and you removed an attacker, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously the point is playing g4. And now I have two moves. Knight on e4 or knight on d7. I thought about knight on e4, and as you can see, the Stockfish is suggesting give a pawn away and try to play for counterplay, because this position is actually really difficult to defend. Now, if knight take, there is pawn take, and it says bishop take, so it's up a pawn. But apparently I have f5. f5, I guess you don't really want to take, because there is a rook take and I take the pawn. Let's say bishop on d5. Take, queen take. The king has to move. I still down a pawn though. King b1. And I can take. So yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't understand that black has so much pressure that the king has to go on b1. So instead of doing this, I was like, okay, I can play knight on d7, and he's going to push everything he has. But it could be bad for him. He could be too aggressive, and I could win. So I'm trying to play on that. Obviously, it's a risk, but it makes sense what I did. And I'm also threatening to play knight on e5, so you need to be careful. Now, could you take the pawn? Because yes, I'm still giving a pawn, although I thought this was different. Because after this happened, I can move the queen. I thought about playing queen on a5. Apparently it's wrong. Oh yeah, because you can play this. But I thought I had a lot more counterplay than playing knight on e4. My opponent classed me and he decided to play queen on h4. Now, after I saw queen on h4, I was pretty happy. Queen on h4 does absolutely nothing. I mean, yes, it's threatening mate. Fair enough. What if I play g6? What is the point? You just waste a full move. g6 is a useful move in this position. It's not that, okay, I'm weakening my position, that's true, but I had to play something like this anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And let's say you play queen on h6. This is even worse. Like, I don't really understand why my opponent decided to play queen on h6. Because, like, again, does absolutely nothing. What are you going to do? Mate me? Ow. You cannot play this. You need a knight there. Okay, ow. Again, is not so simple. There is a pawn defending. So, yeah, this move doesn't really do a lot. And Stockfish is suggesting to take. Now, I thought this was a move that Stockfish would suggest. Although I'm not going to take. Like, I'm not this crazy. I'm crazy, but not this much. Obviously, there is a danger in the position. And I should really play rook f on c8. And the point is that in the future you want to take this knight. And you have a lot of pressure on the queen side. I played a similar move, which is rook on e8, although the difference is that I'm not really putting pressure on the file, where I should put pressure, because there is a king on the c file. And what is the point? The point is that after you move the knight, let's say again to try to play something like this, I can just play this, bishop on f8, and you have absolutely nothing. Let's say you do nothing. Okay, you might have something, but even if I... What happens if I play this? Oh yes, he had knight... Is not knight on h5? Knight on h5 I cannot take, because I get mated. Or do I? Oh, maybe not. Oh, yes. Bishop take. It's bishop take, it's not queen take. Okay, I have bishop on f8, just tapping the queen. I miss that. But yeah, I just play this, is much more safer. And now it's -5. Somehow. It's -5 and -6. And to be fair, I didn't really understand why Stockfish wants me to play rook a on c8. And let's say I play this. You know what the point is? Let's say you play a random move. The point is that I can take. And if you take... Well, okay, this time you get destroyed, but... Well. Queen take f2. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And through all the game, I had this that. Like, even if you move the king in the future, well, now you just lose a piece. But in the future, I always have this threat of taking the knight. And to be fair, I never really thought about this. No, I mean, I thought about this, but I thought it didn't work. Apparently, it does. It does indeed work. And instead of playing this, I decided to play knight on e5. Because again, I was really scared about this attack. I don't like this position, to be fair. I lose a lot of time, so I thought that trading pieces was just a good thing for me. And I'm going to play for the endgame. I mean, now I'm playing for the win. It's not that I intend to play pieces, but I'm really playing for the win, because after I take the bishop, I have a down couple of bishop, some threats, definitely. So it makes sense. He decided to go back with the bishop. And now this pawn is hanging, and it's not really the same thing, because I have the knight defending this pawn, I have more defenders, so I just decided to take it, which is a move that Stockfish likes. Obviously, he really likes material. I like material too, to be fair, but it's not... Again, it's not easy in a position like this. And he played rook on f1, which kinda makes sense. I gave a check, the king moves. And now, again, I have this move. I I thought it didn't work. Apparently it does, and does pretty well. That's a blunder. Knight on c4. I played this move and I saw this was a blunder. A stupid blunder. I'm really disappointed by this move. This move was terrible. And why? It's not that I'm losing material or something like that, but after you take, this pawn is no more defending the square. That's stupid. That's really stupid by me, because now I'm allowing this. The knight goes on e4, and he's actually threatening to give a check and to mate me. I pretty much have a move to defend. Well, two moves. Bishop on e7 or bishop on g7. Knight on g7 was better maybe in the long run. Let's say you don't play knight on f6. I still slightly better somehow. I thought I was much worse. I really thought it was much worse. Like, this position is crazy difficult to defend, because these pieces are coming and it's not easy again. So, knight on f6. I take, I have to, otherwise I get mated, and now he plays this. Now, I can defend, but the file is open. And again, this looks scary. It's -2, I didn't know that, I thought I was losing. So I just decided to be pretty solid and I played h6. What is the point of h6? The queen cannot get in. Even if you attack my queen, I just play this. Queen on g5, if you want to play them win the pawn, okay, win it, I don't care, I'm going to play the endgame. And he played this move. Rook on f4. Rook on f4 is brilliant, to be fair. I didn't even think about this move. Rook on f4 is a crazy move. First of all, I'm not threatening a fork. If I play g5, it's mate. Second, the queen doesn't defend the pawn, so it's still threatening to take. The only move I have is king on h7. Well, I also have h5, but I thought king on h7 was better because I also moved on this file, which, I mean, I guess is good. And now knight on e4. Looks like this move does nothing. I'll tell you what this move does. And I saw it, luckily. Because if I didn't see it... Let's say I play h5. Oh wait, I can play h5? In fact, oh, this is a5, okay. Let's say I play a5. Queen take. Only move. Checkmate. That's what this move does. This move covers g5. This guy is threatening to mate me, sacrificing a full queen for a pawn. That's the threat. Luckily I saw this, and I played the only move. The only move that saved the position, and now you see why I thought was losing, because even if I play h5, like, if you think this is a solid, safe position, it's not. He has a lot of stuff going on. Now, apparently knight on g5 is a mistake. Somehow. And he just decided to attack my queen. Now, I cannot really go on many plays. You know, I cannot play this because he has a check and I lose the queen. So the only move is basically queen on b6. Wait, what? What am I even supposed to do? Okay, rook a8, if you take is checkmate. Okay, queen on b6 is imprecise and we pass from 0 to 0.3. But yeah. Queen on g5. Okay, I tell you what about queen on g5. This move does nothing right now. Although you might threaten this in the future. So right now it does nothing, but yeah, in the future it could be painful to defend. But now I played a really good move, a really good defensive maneuver that I found, which is queen on b4. What is the point of queen on b4? The point is that your rook is under attack, and now I'm in a square that allow me, after you move the rook, to go on f8. And this was a really, really clever defensive resource, because now I can play queen on h6, and I can somehow defend this position. He played rook on h4, threatening to sacrifice, I guess. Can you just play this? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe even queen take. No, queen take. Queen take is probably too much. No, queen take is too much. I can defend this way. Let's say play this, take. Well, right now it probably doesn't work, or does it? I thought it worked. Yeah, because he has this check. Yeah. That's the line I saw. Let's say I play h5 again. Oh, he can actually sack the queen, but let's say he play this. Take, queen take. You might think you can defend with the queen, but he actually has this move. I need to go back and he take and I get destroyed. And if queen take, g take and he has this. No, oh, okay, just rook take and again the same tactic. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Obviously I cannot take the rook because the queen is pinned. So that's what is threatening, so I just decided to play the only defensive move there is in this position, which is queen on h6. And this maneuver is the only thing that saved me in this position. This maneuver is the only thing that allows black to not get destroyed. And yeah, I found this maneuver luckily. It goes back with the queen because it doesn't want to play it. Obviously this position is just great for white. And I decided to play bishop on f5, which is a good move. Although I thought I blundered. And I tell you why. First of all, my opponent has like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and every time he plays, he gains 30 seconds. So he's not going to lose on time. I'm just trying to put pressure though on the clock. I play this move, and when I play fast, I swear I cannot see the knight. I miss this. I miss knight on d6. Now, if you find rook on e3, it's okay. But how, actually? This and take. What about knight take? Rook take g3. Oh yeah, rook take g3. This obviously. Queen g2. And I can go back, saving everything. I missed this move. I'm bad. I missed this move. I thought I blundered, and the fact is that the bishop cannot stay there because if he takes, I probably get destroyed, to be fair. Now, I'm definitely getting destroyed, to be fair. And the rook is under attack. I cannot play this. If I play this again, he take. If I move the bishop, I lose the rook. I decided to move the bishop, because this was also a really annoying threat. And now I just lose in his change. Now, rook on e4 apparently wins on the spot. He put in pressure, a lot of pressure, and instead of doing that, obviously he had a low time, so he just decided to take the rook. Which makes sense. I'm up a pawn and down in his change, it's not over. The good thing is that he doesn't have the knight, so I'm probably not getting destroyed. We played one piece, so I can breathe, at least. It's not like really over, it's just plus 2.7, we're not grandmaster. I mean, everyone can win in this position, to be fair. And he played queen on g5. Queen on g5 is a blunder? How? Like, he's up in his change. And if we played queens, he's still up in his change and I don't have a queen. I get absolutely destroyed. So you might think that since my opponent has really low time, I just want to run away with my queen. I don't want to play queens and I'm going to put pressure somehow. I actually played a really good move. I really understood what I had in this position and I decided to take the queen. I decided to take the queen despite the fact I was down in his change, because after you take, I have the move. Bishop takes on h3. You cannot take because you get mated. And that's not the end. After you play something like this, I go back with the bishop. And guess what? Okay. And down in his change. Bottom up 2 pawns. This pawn is really weak, I might win it. And remember that I have 2 pass pawn. I'm winning. I am absolutely winning. And I decided to go into a position like this, understanding that this position actually gave me a lot of chance. Now, if you're wondering, isn't this a blunder of a piece because the pawn is pinned? Well, you can take the bishop, but then you get mated. So it's not that simple. And instead of doing that, my opponent decided to play king on c1. Now you are threatening to take the bishop. So I have to defend it, and the logical move is just playing rook on e4. If you take, I take, and yeah, whatever. The king is trying to get into the middle, but now I have 2 pass pawn. I really need to focus on that. g5, gaining a time on the rook. The rook has to move, and now another important thing. Who defends this pawn? Who defends this pawn? If I win this pawn, I have 3 pass pawn. Your opponent change. Can you stop 3 pass pawn? Can someone stop 3 pass pawn? There is no way you can do that. You just have 2 rooks. You cannot stop 3 pass pawn. So you need to find a way to have some counterplay. Otherwise you get absolutely destroyed. And he decided to go for this, with the idea that if I take, at least he take the pawn and he might start to push. I don't have to take. I mean, I can just play king on g6. And if I want, I can take the pawn with my king. And that's still defended. And you had to stop the pass pawn. Again, it's not easy at all for my opponent. And remember, he has like really low time. Rook on d2. Rook on d2 with the idea to infiltrate. But this bishop is just a monster. He's also blocking this square. I take the pawn with the king, obviously, because I don't want to lose this. And now he played rook on d6, d4. And now, that's another really important moment. That's really instructive. You understand that you have 3 pass pawn, and you don't care if you're down in exchange, because the more piece I trade, the more it's difficult for my opponent to defend this. There is no way you can defend this with just a rook. I have 3 pass pawn. They are kinda stoppable. Okay, a bishop is worse than a rook, but I have 3 pass pawn. He decided to take, and bishop on e6. And now, talking about this bishop, I have to say, he is the MVP. He's just protecting everything. He won this pawn. He denied the rook from getting in. This bishop is a monster. It's probably better than this rook right now. And yeah, he gave me a check, which does absolutely nothing. This actually wasted time. And in endgames, it's really important to not waste any single time. After you give me a check, I want to play king on g6 anyway. I mean, king on g6 has to be played because I want to push my pawns. So it doesn't make any sense to give me a check. Yeah, he's trying to get in, but again, you just can't. Even if you get in this way, I don't care. I played h4. The point is that, okay, you can give me a check. Good luck. I just keep pushing pawns. Yeah, he's trying to play for some counterplay, but you can just take and you have absolutely nothing. And I keep pushing my pawns with just 1 pass pawn. Like, you can't do anything. He's trying to defend it, and now the king gets in. That's a really easy endgame to win. The king is trying to go back in order to defend the position. I played king on h4. And my opponent resigned. And I'll tell you why. Because if you play king on f3, I have this. You lose the rook. And let's say you play this instead. I don't need to get in with the king now. I can just push my pawns. Let's say I play this. I plan to get in with the king. Hoping that you can defend something. I keep pushing. King on g1. And I have 200 winning moves. Just to mention one, is this. Bishop on d5, the rook is grabbed. Let's say you take, I take, yeah, okay. Push this pawn, I don't care, I'm going to win pretty fast. So what can I say about this game? It was absolutely crazy. I mean, when I say this game was crazy, this game was absolutely crazy. I got absolutely outplayed in the opening. My opponent prepped pretty well, I have to say, because the opening was absolutely incredible for him. It was really difficult to defend for me. Overall, I defended pretty well, even though I miscalculated a few stuff, to be fair, but it wasn't the worst game ever. Although this makes me understand that I really need to get better with theory, because I definitely got caught. In the French, which is the opening I play the most, which is kinda crazy, you know. But yeah, I'm 2 out of 2. I'm happy, and see you next time in the next video with the third game.